Hey everyone! So today I want to talk about one of the favorite things that we get to do as homeschoolers, learning on the go. So if you want to travel while you're homeschooling, it's an excellent idea. It's such an excellent idea. Why talk about glaciers when you can go see one and point to it and go, yep, there's a glacier. So yes, I'm very passionate about this subject, and I can make other videos about how to travel as a family, ways to save, ways to just do it, because it's amazing. It really is. So let's break down how to go about learning on the go. So forget the idea, because I'm sure you're picturing it, a big backpack full of textbooks. No. No, 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 no. There are plenty of real life experiences while you travel that are huge learning opportunities. So I'm going to be using the example of our trip to Iceland, which was incredible. If you have not gone, I highly recommend it. Check out Wow Air and get an Airbnb. It's amazing out there. Holy moly, it's amazing. I'll also link videos down below of our trip there. Anywho, so I'm going to be using this as an example to help inspire you to look for things to learn about during your big trip. So for Iceland, before we went, we talked about Norse myths, we talked about geothermal energy and volcanoes and glaciers. I'm looking at my notes. And he loved learning about all of these things. Now, of course, we also talked about airplanes and passports and all of these things because it was his first time going on a plane and his first time traveling abroad. So it was a huge learning experience all in itself. But we love to talk about things before we go. Now, we are currently planning a trip to Montreal, and we're learning a little bit of French before we go. It's only in a few months, so I don't know how much he's going to pick up. But we did not learn Icelandic before going to Iceland. Thankfully, a lot of them speak English. It's a very tough language. It's a gorgeous language. It's a very descriptive language, but it was not one that I could really get a hold on, aside from words like kafi. And it took me until a month afterwards to say Iliafjaljökull and Sohimijökull and all of the other beautiful things, and Vesterlandsviger and things like that, which is a road. P.S. The last one is a road. The other two were glaciers. Anywho, so we didn't really learn the language, knowing that we'd be okay. A lot of them speak English. Most of them spoke English. Anywho, I'm getting off topic. So we loved learning about the country and the different things that go on there before taking our trip. And then when we went, that's where the learning really happened, because he could see it for himself. So we saw glaciers in the distance. He was not old enough yet to do a glacier tour, but he was still able to see them and observe them, and we talked about them while they were off in the distance, and then he got to see videos of his dad and grandfather going on the glacier. We got to see waterfalls that are coming from the glacier. My favorite was Skogafoss. It was so cool. We went to the Settlers Museum in Reykjavik, and that is about the Vikings and the settlements that they made, and that was really fun. We observed volcanic rocks. They were all over the place, along with that bouncy moss that my son really loved. And we went to the black sand beaches, and we talked about why everything was so dark, because of the volcanoes, of course. We talked about geothermal energy and then got to experience it for ourselves by going to a hot spring and enjoying that and watching a geyser go off while we were soaking in the warm water. It was amazing. And there was also the old bathhouse, like ruins, were still there that we could talk about and observe from the warmth of the water, of course. We went to the Secret Lagoon, which I highly recommend. It's less busy, it's a natural hot spring, and it's cheaper. Just saying. And we also talked about the tectonic plates, because in Iceland there is a giant crack in the country where two of the plates are drifting apart. Normally, we talk about mountains when they're crashing together, but here we could see them drifting apart, and the giant crack that was running through the country, we got to observe it up close and really talk about why it was happening and how, far it was going every year. But that is my biggest example. Of course, we incorporate learning no matter when and where we go to a new location, whether it's the beach or a city. We're planning a couple city trips here in the future too. But you can always learn on the go with real life experiences, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a museum, but definitely check them out too. Now, if you would like a follow-up video about savvy ways to travel, traveling as a family, and things like that, leave a comment below. And I can definitely include that in the future because we are definitely savvy travelers. We are not people who stay in five-star hotels. We do it in a way that is more affordable. So if you would like more info on that, let me know. If you found this video helpful, give me a big thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe. I put out new videos on Mondays, and I will see you soon.